Atul, I think we've known each other now for about 16 years. Thanks for your time today. We've helped you so far with Mayfair, Beaconsfield, Amersham, so 3 of your 10 restaurants, including 2 in India, Petswood, Wembley. And you also have written, I believe, 6 best-selling books. You're a regular on James Martin's Saturday Kitchen. You're a very busy man, so thanks again for your time. We're sitting today in Kanishka, one of the ones we helped you with. Tell us a little bit about the name. I believe it was to do with a Buddhist king. Is that you?
Yes. So David, first of all, thank you. It's been, you've been a great friend, just not supplier of great restaurants. And I've always leaned on you for advice, and it's been great. You're honest, sharp, sometimes bitter, but I like it because it's truth there. Kanishka we are in today, and it's in Mayfair. There was a king in India called Kanishka in 2nd century BC, and he was Buddhist. And he conquered the world through love, through friendship. So there were hardly any wars during his time. And the economy of Indian subcontinent was considered to be the golden era of Indian economy. So he's the kind of gold standard about anything about India in terms of the character, the ethos, the love for humanity, how life should be led. So I quite like that character. Since I was a little child, I read about these things. And I always thought we should always conduct ourselves more cleanly and happily and help each other as humans. So hence name Kanishka.
You've been cooking now for 30 years, I believe, in Mayfair. Had many Michelin stars through your time, but only quite late in life, I'd say, you've gone to taking your own, buying and growing your own restaurant group. How has that changed things for you?
So I came here in 1994, and I set up 2 restaurants. One was Tamarind, which kind of changed the perception of Indian food in this country in that time. I left Tamarind in 2002. In 2003, I set up a restaurant called Banaras as my business with other 2 partners. I sold my shares of Banaras in 2018 to set up my own company. And that transformation from a chef to an entrepreneur was a big thing while I was at Banaras. It was funny that I was cooking in the kitchen happily, and the general managers would rush into me and say, "Chef, we have an issue with the staffing." And I look up to him, "What are you telling me? I'm a chef." And then he says, "You're the owner as well." "Oh, really?" Then it would sink into me that, okay, there are more responsibilities as an entrepreneur rather than just being chef and happy cooking. You have to take the entire responsibility on your shoulders. And that grew me as an entrepreneur. And I think from there on, while I was still at Banaras, I started opening other restaurants outside London. And I think this idea came that I think I need to break free and be on my own. And that was the idea. I left Banaras in 2018 to set up Kanishka with a new group of investors, but me being in control. And also I set out to open a few more restaurants. COVID came along. It was challenged, but it also posed opportunities. It gave opportunities. And I took some of them, and hence I got 8 restaurants in the UK and 2 in India, in Delhi.
Very good. What would you say has been the highlight of your whole career so far?
The biggest thing I look upon when I reflect on my 30 years, winning Michelin star as a first Indian ever in the world to get a Michelin star for Indian cuisine was the biggest thing to me. I couldn't believe it. I think it took months for me to kind of sink in with the thought that I belong to the club. This is great.
I think you're undoubtedly the most famous Michelin-starred Indian chef I've come across, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
What would you say is your number 1 tip for any new young chef coming into the industry at the moment?
To any young person who joins the industry, especially as a chef, I would say, give yourself as much time as you can to learn under others. Because once you go on your own, then you're pretty lonely. You would have to deal with everything on your own because there is no advice available. So you're pretty much, it's like a pyramid. You're on the top, and it's a very, very lonely place on the top. Yeah. So heed all the advice, take all the suggestions, work on your weaknesses, make sure you sharpen your strengths, and then jump into to do what you want to do. You want to be head chef, you want to be an entrepreneur, or you want to own a group of restaurants. But you don't stop learning ever, but give yourself as much time as you can. Don't chase money, stars. they all come with time, and they come when you're not looking and expecting.
Very good. And every time I speak to you, you've got some new ideas. What's next? What's next to come from your...
I probably will have 10 by the time we finish this interview. But at the moment, I'm trying to, especially the kind of financial weather we are in, I want to remain consolidated. I've just opened a restaurant in Tunbridge Wells. I almost gave up that site, but then suddenly I thought, okay, I'll lose more by giving up. I'll lose a lot by opening, but probably I'll gain back as well. And I think that punt is about to pay off. It's looking good. I'm very happy to be in Tunbridge Wells. The crowd is lovely. They're so welcoming. I think they have been waiting for us to open the restaurant for the last 3 years. And I look at that place with all positivity, very happy that we managed to open the doors there.
Yeah, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Thanks for making the time for us again today, Atul. Really good to see you, and best of luck in your next venture, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, David. Always good to see you.